What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the PT on Ice Daily Show. Before we jump in, we want to chat about our show sponsor, Jane, for just a moment. Jane is a practice management software that we love and use here at Ice Physio. And we've started seeing more and more PTs take advantage of Jane's packages and membership features. A package is a one-time purchase that can be redeemed almost like a punch card. A membership can have multiple recurring invoices, and you set the number of uses like a subscription. Both packages and memberships can save you admin time and also provide extra incentives to your clients to maintain a regularly scheduled routine, meanwhile offering a little discount to sweeten the deal so it's a win-win. To learn more about setting up your packages and memberships with Jane, head to jane.app/physicaltherapy. You can also mention the PT on Ice Daily Show for a 1-month grace period to get started with Jane. Just make sure to note it at the time of sign up. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you being here. Enjoy today's show.
All right, good morning and welcome to the PT on Ice Daily Show. My name is Kelly Benfey, and I'll be joining you this morning for Fitness Athlete Friday, where we are going to talk about this year's 2022 CrossFit Open, a couple takeaways that I have that I want to share with everybody. But before we get into our topic for this morning, let me catch you up on a couple things coming up within our Fitness Athlete team as far as our live courses and online courses go. This weekend, Gmo and Mitch are going to be at our live course in Lake Mary, Florida, near Orlando. So have a great weekend coming up soon. But the next time you can catch our live course out on the road is going to be the weekend of April 2nd in Cincinnati, Ohio, with Zach, the Rebel Physio, and I believe Joe is going to be there as well. The next course is going to be at the end of May 21st. We're going to be in Greenville, South Carolina. So a couple live courses coming up for you all. And then as far as our online courses go, we're in the middle of both our Essential Foundations and Advanced Concepts course online right now. So the next time that's going to start and you can hop in is going to be June 6th for our Essential Foundations course. And then in mid-August, August 15th is the next time our Advanced Concepts course is going to start. So head over to ptonice.com for the full schedule of all of our live and online courses and to get yourself registered there as soon as possible. They're going to sell out. They always do. So let's get into our topic for this morning. So we're talking the 2022 CrossFit Open that just wrapped up. We had 3 weeks, one workout announced on Thursdays. Then you have the weekend to throw down with your community in your gym, wherever you are at, test yourself, push yourself, and post some awesome scores online to see where you rank up within the world, within your continent, your state, even your age group, whatever it may be. So congrats to everybody that did it. First of all, that's such a great accomplishment. To send it with all of your friends every weekend, it's tough. It's not an easy thing. So congrats to those who did it. The Ice Physio leaderboard was really long. I think there was over 100 people on it. So that was cool to be able to throw down within our community. So special congrats to Nick Bibick, who landed at the top of the leaderboard. I will see you at quarterfinals. And then also special shout out to Zach and Alexis Morgan, who had the opportunity to do that live announcement for 22.3. How cool was that? I think that was the highlight of my Open, just watching them do that. So congrats to CrossFit Hendersonville for having that honor and then allowing Zach and Alexis to join them in that awesome event. So I have a couple takeaways from the 3 weeks that we just had. And then I want to share with you. So 22.1, so week 1, the takeaway I have from that is leave no weakness left unaddressed. So rewind back to 21.1. That was the first time we had ever seen the movement known as the wall walk in an RX workout, or basically just anything more than a general warm-up or a modification for some handstand skills. And if I felt very exposed by that movement. I definitely didn't know how to immediately move the most efficient way. My shoulders were blown up from it. That exposed a weakness, if I would admit, to which I think you can all relate with. And so you had one of two options after that workout. You either were like, phew, I hope that never shows up again. got that done, got that out of the way, or you started throwing that in your workouts to get better at it and to make sure that you aren't exposed as a weakness again in the future, right? So I hope you did that option, because fast forward to week 1 of this year's Open, that was the first movement that was announced. And I'll admit, I was really surprised that they would throw that back in right away. But I fortunately had been practicing it and wasn't upset that it was back in there. So leave no weakness left unaddressed, or it'll continue to show up and be exposed. So when it comes to our profession, that's exactly what my goal of every case that comes through my doors is. We want to identify what the person's weakness or deficiencies are. Is it a strength limitation? Is it a mobility issue? Is it a lifestyle factor that is contributing to the continuous showing up of pain or dysfunction in their lives? We, as their physical therapists, need to help guide them to identify what these holes in their training or lives are, and then guide them to fully attack that weakness or fill that hole with what they need to effectively change that factor in their lives. So for me, the wall walk this year kind of symbolized and really hit home with, you can't ignore these weaknesses that pop up over your training or in your lives, for example. So I hope it all went much better for you this year than it did the last year. At least 3 at a time, 3 wall walks at a time was hopefully much more manageable for all of you than last year's wall walk workout. So takeaway from 22.2, I want to talk about the deadlift here. So they announced the workout of 1, 2, 3 up to 10 and back down the ladder of deadlifts and bar facing burpees. And immediately the CrossFit community kind of reacted in an interesting way. So I'm on Instagram, obviously, we're on Instagram right now. But I follow plenty of CrossFit athletes. I follow plenty of like those CrossFit community pages where they post a lot of jokes and memes and stuff like that are super funny all the time. But what I noticed, the immediate reaction from the CrossFit community to this workout was immediately, okay, here's the source of my back pain this next week, or this is the reason I'm not going to be able to work out for the next week, or something along those lines. That infamous clip from Mike Tyson, I believe, where he's getting interviewed and he says, my back is broken, something about spinal, which is a super funny clip, I think. But that comes up right away. And I was surprised at how I was reflecting, I guess, on the immediate negative reaction we have to a tough workout that includes a moderately heavy deadlift. I think if this workout was announced as a moderately heavy front squat or thruster or shoulder to overhead, something kind of comparable as far as difficulty and weight, for example, I don't think we would have had the same reaction. It would have been bad if it was thrusters, let me tell you. But if it was a front squat, I don't think we would have immediately seen this reaction of, oh, here's the source of my knee pain next week, or here's the source of my back pain next week, for example. It's very consistent that we're, as a community, still associating deadlifts with back pain and not deadlifts with back gains. I think that's going to be my new motto. So you heard it here first. But I back pain is the second most common area that our fitness athletes are having issues or pain with. And so I think as physical therapists, we still have a lot of room to improve on changing the mindset surrounding this movement for our clients. I think we can do this in a lot of different ways. We can do this by simply strengthening their posterior chain. Strength and muscular endurance was a huge part of this workout, obviously, but improving those two things for our clients to be able to tolerate the load and repetitive load. For example, when you're trying to do 100 in a short amount of time, we can offer those two things to allow our clients to feel more confident approaching a workout like that. We can practice the movement with them. We can do a movement analysis and give them coaching cues to be able to move a moderately heavy deadlift bar more efficiently so it taxes them less. And we can give them suggestions on how to properly warm up for something like this, so we don't go from 0 to 60 and just blow up within the first 2 minutes of that workout, for example. So I think as a physical therapist working with a lot of clients who have back pain with deadlifts, I don't blame them for being a little hesitant to jump into this workout. But if my goal for every person that comes into my door with having issues with deadlifting is to get to the point where they now feel much more confident walking into a workout, for example, like that, or in the future, maybe doing a heavy 1 rep max deadlift. Until we get there, we haven't fully done the job. And so just reflecting on how I think we can continue to get better at dosing out deadlifting and educating our clients and inspiring them that this is the best thing for them versus continuing to put them at risk of injuring or tweaking their back again. And that means that I'm not saying by any means that workout was easy. I thought that was a heavy barbell. And I definitely got to the point where I felt that 2 bricks in the low back feeling, that low back pump. That is totally to be expected from a workout like that, unless you're absolute monster, maybe. But that's different than having back pain associated from it. So that was kind of my takeaway from the deadlift. We can continue to inspire and change the outlook on our deadlifts just to have the same outlook as 150 wall balls would be. Just get a good quad pump, but our knees live to see another day, for example. All right. And so 22.3 takeaway from that, I think, is do the basics well. You've probably heard us say that before when it comes to treating and practicing as ICE trained clinicians, do the basics well. And I think the 22.3 workout really hit home with that as well. So I couldn't think of a more classic CrossFit workout, a little bit of push, a little bit of pull, very Fran-like with the thrusters and then progressing skills for our gymnastics skills. And then just sprinkling a little bit of double unders to jack the heart rate up, right? But I'm thinking do the basics well for this workout in 2 lenses. So number 1, it's super important to have good movement foundations when it comes to our gymnastic skills. Having really sound basic shapes of our arch and hollow is going to make the 21 pull-ups done that much more efficiently. And then we're less tired going into the more complex movement of the chest to bar and then further into the bar muscle up. Same with our thruster. If we have a really comfortable front rack position, nice upright torso at 65 pounds, we're going to be set up, or 95 or 65 pounds, we're going to be set up that much better as the weight increases and we get more tired to be able to move that heavy barbell at the end, 135 and 85 pounds. So do the basics well. We're constantly almost surprised that our high level athletes are doing all these high level skills like bar muscle ups and actually struggle when we go back to basics. So continue emphasizing your basics as far as skills. And then the other lens I was thinking as far as doing the basics well is we need to have a good foundation of metabolic conditioning. One of our lead faculty, Mitch, had posted a really awesome Instagram post. So if you're following him and you scroll back to where he drew out the triangle of what the CrossFit methodology was, the base of our triangle, the biggest chunk of our triangle is nutrition and then metabolic conditioning first. That's the biggest part. Then we can do the weightlifting and gymnastics on top of it. Without our metabolic conditioning, it made those bar muscle ups at the end that much more challenging, or the heavy thrusters at the end that much more challenging. So while we absolutely love the fun high level skills, the heavier barbells, you probably were crawling through it if you didn't have that foundation of metabolic conditioning. And as a healthcare provider, that's one of the things that I'm most concerned when I'm thinking of the health and well-being of our population and community that we're serving. Without that, that's going to make their longevity and life a little bit more difficult in the future. So again, just hitting home that I think the whole open really drove home that metabolic conditioning is one of the basic and most important things when we're talking about what the CrossFit methodology is and how to become the healthiest human being possible. So in total, I thought the workouts were really awesome. I had a lot of fun doing them. I did notice that they were a little bit less skilled than our typical 5-week series of the Open, but I think CrossFit's in a little bit of a transition phase right now. So I heard some complaints of like, oh, this isn't heavy enough. Oh, this isn't hard enough. And while I see what you mean, it's a change from what we're used to in the Open, we have a different a couple different phases of the Open now. So I think now, or sorry, the whole CrossFit season. So now it seems like the Open is going to purposefully be more all-inclusive because we now advance through quarterfinals, semifinals to the games to be able to test our more advanced athletes with those more advanced skill sets. I think putting the Open as the most inclusive possible programming is a really nice idea because I want to see even more people feel confident to be able to go register, sign up, and push themselves a little bit more than they would have in their regular classes. So that makes me super happy. I saw somebody get their first wall walk for the first time. We love when people get that first bar muscle up, that first chest to bar, the whole like gym erupts for them. And so imagine how important and life-changing that can be for your everyday athlete. If you do something you didn't think you could do before, imagine how that bleeds into other areas of your entire life, with your family, with your job, with whatever it may be. So I'm all for this slight shift in making it a little bit more inclusive, focusing a little bit more on metabolic conditioning for all of us, and then being able to advance through some more advanced stages if possible. So I love having conversations surrounding this. So if you guys have thoughts on it, feel free to tag me in the comments, hit me up on Instagram. I could talk about this stuff all day, as you can see. Drew says, I felt like it was a personal attack on my fitness. And if you felt like that, now you have a better idea of what you might want to be working on in the next year. And hopefully you're feeling more motivated to get that done. Drew, since we work together now, if you listen to yesterday's podcast with Jeff talking about being around people, that just allows you to change. I'm hoping that will get your fitness level up a little bit more, maybe 3% this year. So, all right, that's all I have for today. So happy Fitness Athlete Friday. Have a great day in the clinic and nice weekend. We'll be back on Monday with our PT on Ice Daily Show. Take care.
Hey, thanks for tuning in to the PT on Ice Daily Show. If you enjoyed this content, head on over to iTunes and leave us a review. And be sure to check us out on Facebook and Instagram at the Institute of Clinical Excellence. If you're interested in getting plugged into more ICE content on a weekly basis while earning CEUs from home, check out our virtual ICE online mentorship program at ptonice.com. While you're there, sign up for our Hump Day Hustling newsletter for a free email every Wednesday morning with our top 5 research articles and social media posts that we think are worth reading. Head over to ptonice.com and scroll to the bottom of the page to sign up.